So there's something that is very hesitant, scared, unwilling to do what you said before, earlier. It's been an issue for a very long time. Yeah, I need some help with that.
No. You need to take responsibility for that. That's different. Because that which is standing in the way is pure arrogance, basically. It's rejection of this. It's ill will to love yourself as this. And that creates separation, creates pain. And that might be exactly the knowing that you need for you to acknowledge that rejection is not to the point. It's not only not to the point, it's also fully not beneficial.
There's something that has this belief that I'm not capable, that I can't figure it out. It's just kind of a veil of feeling lost.
I can promise you can't figure it out. But that's not the point either, figuring it out. Although I want to say that despite whatever words can be said, that the being there is enough and the information coming in, it is to some extent. But in regards to our navigation as consciousness, it's pretty vital that we do our investigations in terms of getting to know our patterns, getting to know how we trick ourselves. You see, to the extent that you are choosing just that what you said right there, that a part of me believes that I can't. Can you see there's a belief right there which is just keeping you away from the whole part of facing everything you need to face? So what needs to happen on a very, very ground level, you need to give up your belief system. I believe I cannot do it, so I'm not doing it. Yeah? That's believing in it. And right there, your belief system is controlling you as consciousness. I believe I can't do it? Okay, then I look over here. Because being with the fact, taking this in, like right up in front of you. I believe I can't do this. Oh, what is inside of that? It's like a whole little present, It's like wrap it up, or open the gift, see what's in it. Why do I believe I cannot do it? Not as a mental thing, but like feel into it. Contemplate it. Bring that which you are not looking at into the center of your view. And right there, let it untangle. Not through a doing, but through a facing up. But you see, when you own that, when you own exactly what you're saying here, then that arrogance, it slides right in front of your view. You see it, and then it can drop. But if you're not looking, then exactly everything you just said right here, that becomes the determining factor for your entire way ahead as a human being. It determines how you master yourself as consciousness. It determines exactly where you sidestep on yourself as a human being. And as the result, where you, abandon yourself, but also where you abandon everyone else as the result. So this is what I'm saying when I'm saying that it's actually directly painful. When your paw is full of thorns and you're walking, then that just seems to be the way it is. But the more relief that you get from pulling out thorn after thorn of all of these places where you are deceiving yourself, where you are creating this separation, it will become more and more up in your face. The reality, because it's like the reality of being like in becomes so apparent to you and becomes more and more the norm, so that these places where you do sidestep, they will like up in your face. But then it's like you can pull out thorn after thorn, and somewhere when that thorn, that last thorn goes, you are flooded by pure life. Right here. Here. From that point and onwards, wholeness is the case. And wholeness is a very, very distinct, and I could say so normal feeling. But once it's there, you completely acknowledge it for the reality of knowing your value, of resting in your integrity, of fully including yourself in the depth. In a way, I could say that the totality of that wholeness is the case in that moment where everything inside of you has given up the fight. You're done fighting for anything and against anything. Yes.
It's also kind of a need to face that I don't know then. I don't know anything.
No, you don't. Neither do I. Literally, like, as a human being, it's like we can only stand open, naked, fully to truth. But we don't take any part of reality and make it ours. You see, that's kind of like taking it, making it mine, and then it's me, you know? So in that sense, no me, but that no me becomes like a birth of the real me, the real you. Or more like a birth of the sweetness of you, because that's your life, that's you. And that's the nakedness of your soul. It's sweet. And it's innocent. Yes. And it's very sincere. And it's also full of care. It's like living the highest integrity is equal to such a radical level of self-care, where you as consciousness don't get to that point where you care too much for something else in a way which removes care from yourself, and you don't care too much about yourself in a way where you become careless with other or with anything else. It's just that perfect amount of care, which cares equally for everything, and yet in an integral way, like with integrity. That's what I mean when I say it holds everything to that integrity. It holds everything to the fact of everyone's responsibility, everything's responsibility, and it takes its own responsibility as well. As long as we haven't solidified within that sense of feeling, then it kind of does require practice. You have to return to your body. That level of temptation to not do so has never been higher than it is now. But as consciousness, as the one, you need to be the one willing to take a full embrace of and hold of your human experience. It's the whole meeting with the reality of the feminine force. The creational force. And why do we fear it so much? Because within our human reality, within our human experience, we have to face what it means to be in proper relation with her. We can't just be here and then there's a world there. We can't live with that kind of separation. We have to allow the felt sense all the way down. It isn't just that it's nice to be in the body. Because when hatred rises inside of the body, are you equally willing? When anger rises inside of the body, are you equally willing? When your sexuality fills you to the fingertips, can you still be present? Do you step out? Or do you act to try and get rid of that energy? This is what I'm saying. Can that creational force, which is also equal to an invitation to that purification of the sexual energy, it's the same thing. Can you be fully present with that and let it empty you out? We are bloody scared of that. And I understand why. I understand why, in the sense that from that separated sense that we are usually living as our day consciousness, from that place it feels like we're being taken over. And in a way we are, because we've made ourselves so used to live apart from that. So when that is to intertwine and like move through all of our cells, it feels like we're losing control. And we are, because our control is our ego controller. But she is perfect order. She invites that loss of control, and not to become chaos, but to come in as that consciousness, to hold, to be able to be the cauldron, the container that allows her to be this black waving ocean of pure passion, of pure power. But she can't be there as anything but chaos unless you agree to hold her. When resistance is the case, you could skip the struggle and go straight to the feeling. This is what you're invited to do. And that means that, right now I have to invite hatred into my house. I have to invite myself to feel hatred, even though I don't like hatred. I'm being compassionate, present, and loving towards whatever arises in my temple. And greeting every guest arising, whether it's ecstasy, peace, anger, fear, hatred.
So suppressed I can't feel it.
I know.
I can't feel it. I know. It's probably there.
I know. This is what you're gonna have to face.